What's happening, guys? Welcome back to Tool Review Wednesdays. Today we're going to start our series on the OTC Encore. Now, the Encore is my first real aftermarket scan tool. I've been using the dealer scan tool all these years at the dealer, and then of course once I started my own shop, I had to have a dealer scan tool for all the programming and functionality that it offered, being a Ford specialist shop, BSG Automotive. Now, what we're going to go over today is initial setup and the initial impressions, and we'll try it on a few different vehicles just to give you a general sense of the Encore and help you go through the setup process on there if you're confused at all in case you bought one of these. But many of you out there, I'm sure, are watching this wondering, what aftermarket scan tool should I get that doesn't cost too much, but that has a lot of functionality? And that was my question too. I did a lot of research. I talked to Eric O from South Main Auto, and basically the conclusion I came to is that there's a lot of other scan tools out there that can do just about as much as this, but they don't have the aftermarket, they don't have the support, the customer support. Whereas OTC is standing behind it. They're always doing updates. They're always there for you, and of course there's always improvements to the core software and the functions that this thing offers. Now this thing costs around $1,600–1,700. You can find it online, and shipped to your door, and it has bi-directional control. It's ultra fast because now that the software has been out for a couple of years, they fine-tune the software so that it's actually very reliable, it's very fast, and has a lot of functions for many different vehicles. It handles imports and domestics. So the idea of this series is to go through from the beginning with you. I don't know anything about this. We're gonna go through it together, okay? And we're gonna see what it does and if it's worth the $1,600–1,700 price tag. Like I said, still, for the price, bi-directional control, the kind of coverage this thing has, it's already worth it in my mind, but we're going to go through it and we're really going to give you a sense of what it can and cannot do. So let's start off with setup. We'll unbox it, we'll set up the software on here, and then we'll try it out on a few different vehicles. Okay, so let's start off with unboxing this thing. I want to get it out, I want to get it charged, I want to start using it because I'm very excited to have my first real aftermarket scan tool. So it comes in a nice case like this. This is all pretty standard. It's a big case for a small scan tool, I think. But it is nice, keeps it nice and protected. So we'll go ahead and open it up on here. Now it comes with a few different peripherals, I guess you could say, cables and stuff like that. We have our charger. In case you have it plugged into the wall, you can charge with the AC adapter. So we have that option. And that's one of the first things you want to do when you unbox one of these, get it fully charged, and we'll of course set it up. Then we have a USB cable for the B to A. I'm not sure what this is exactly used for, but there is a couple different ports on here we can use and do different various functions. So like I said, we're going to go through all this and the software updates and the different functions together, being my first scan tool outside the OEMs. And of course here is your OBD2 connector. So you have a regular OBD2 connector on this side, and it has that lock on it, that pressure lock on there. I kind of like that. Puts a little bit of pressure on there so it doesn't fall out on you. And then of course on this side, this part connects to the scan tool itself on the top side here, and we have locks, we have screws, we can screw it into there so it doesn't come apart, and they'll stay attached to it at all times. Now the actual Encore, look at this thing. You can see the camera there, sorry about that, but hey, this thing is ultra glossy, looks ultra cool, and it has a lot of software updates to it that make it a very useful tool, especially for the money. So like I said, I'm very excited to get started using this. Now what's nice about it is that it is nice and thin on here. You can just grab it with your hands on the side here, and it has reliefs built into the back side here, so you can grab it and hold it, and this is all rubberized, so it'll kind of just stay wherever you put it in general because it is rubberized and they stick out. So now the screen on here is a touch screen, which is nice, makes it nice and handy to just go ahead and just start selecting a bunch of different functions. Pretty standard for a scan tool. And on the back side here, hopefully you can see this, There's a couple different ports on here. So you have an SD slot right here for taking off different files on there. You have a headphone jack, your USB-A and USB-B. Your connection right here for your cable. Like I said, it's always attached to it. And then you have your AC to DC power adapter that plugs into here, right here, in case you have it on the bench and you just want to have it fully charged at all times. That's the nice thing about it. There's another scan tool, doesn't compare to it, but I've seen other scan tools out there like the Chrysler Star Scan, stuff like that. They're just like this, nice, small, and thin, but as soon as you take them off the vehicle's power, you disconnect them from the OBD2, they die out. Not so with this one. It has a built-in battery. It's actually a very smart Android-based tablet. Okay, so it has a really good control over the battery, even telling you what is sucking down the battery most on there. So it has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all kinds of great features built right into it. Like I said, especially for the price. Now this will charge with your AC adapter, of course, but it'll also charge through your OBD2 connector here, because there's that 12 volts constantly coming into the OBD2 port on all the vehicles. So it will charge, but I'm sure it'll charge a lot slower compared to the AC adapter. That's pretty standard with any scan tool. So the first thing we're going to do is plug it in, fully charge it up, and then we'll go ahead and do a few settings, make sure there's no software updates, and then we'll get to using it. Now the one reason why this case is so big is that reason right there. It allows you to put different cables and stuff like that right in here. Anything you want to actually store in this little pocket right here. And then each one of these you can clip into the different adapters for different makes and models for special functions. This can even do OBD1 with a special adapter. So that's really cool. That can do OBD2, which is pretty standard, and of course OBD1. Alright, let's go ahead and plug this cable into the back side here, get that all set up and screwed in there nice and tight, and then we'll go ahead and charge it up before our first use. So take that off of there. Like I said, it's just like any serial cable you've used in the past on PCs. You line it up on there. I'll make sure it's pushed in all the way. Okay, and then you just simply turn these screws in each side and it'll hold that cable in place for us. Okay, we're good to go. And this cable, like I said, just stays on here. I think it's about 6 feet long too. It's pretty darn long, so that's nice. You can kind of drag it over to the engine compartment while it still stays plugged in. So we'll go ahead, we'll plug in our AC adapter. That goes on this side. Okay, and we'll just let it charge for a while. Now what you can do, just in case you're wondering what the charge level is on here, you can turn it on, okay, let it power up, let it go through its function. There's the little Android guy. I'm used to Apple devices myself, but a lot of devices out there are based off of Android operating system because it is so reliable. So this is the Bravo 2.0 software right here, and it's actually around 2.8 right now. There's been lots of improvements to the software, so it works really fast now, and there's a lot of functions too. That's what we're going to go through. I'm very excited to show you guys all the different functions as we learn them together, of course. Now once you're in here, it's like a demo mode, so we're just going to show you can press over here and then go into settings, okay, and you can bring up your battery on here. So battery's right here, and it'll tell you right here, hey, you got about 85% charged, and you are charging on the AC system. So again, just let it fully charge. So we can go ahead at this point, since we know it's charging, we know basically how long it has to be fully charged. We can just press this button on the right side here for the power. Hey, you're going to shut it down. Okay. And it'll actually shut down the system. That'll charge the fastest that way. So we're just going to go ahead and let it charge to 100%, and then we'll come back and we'll finish setting it up. Okay, our scan tool is just about charged, so let's go ahead and finish setting it up. Check for updates, get it registered and stuff like that, so we can go to the vehicle and start using it. So let's go ahead and select English, wherever your language may be. Accept the agreement for the software. Of course, set up your Wi-Fi. Mine is Azus, which is this one right here. And of course, put your password in. All right, got the password in there. Let's go ahead and connect to the network. Authenticating. Okay. All right, so we're connected. You can see right here, we now have internet. We hit next. And we can continue on. Verify. Registration. And then you simply just fill out your registration on here. It seems pretty darn simple. What about set clock? That seems interesting. Automatically set date and time, time zone, all that good stuff. You can see the date, the time. It's almost New Year's. Central Standard Time, that's me. 24-hour date period. Format, no. Okay, so that's pretty cool. A couple different options for your information there. So let's go ahead and just fill this out, and then we'll hit next. And then from there, of course, it wants all your personal information, so it can actually set and activate that warranty on there. So just go ahead and fill that out, and then we'll go ahead and confirm it, and we'll send the registration on here. So right there, we'll go ahead and activate it once all the information has been reviewed. Make sure you got an internet connection, of course. Congratulations, your warranty has been activated. So this starts the warranty period. Now, once you're in here, at this point, it's live. It's ready to go. What you want to do is go into settings. Okay, we have our different basic settings in here, but the very first thing you want to do is make sure there's no updates for the software. Like I said, there's always improved functions, improved reliability. So you want to check. And it's nice, you tap on it. It's a one-tap deal, automatically checks. So we're good to go because this did just get shipped to me. I think they do quarterly updates for functions and all that. So we can go back to home and we can go ahead and connect it to a vehicle. Now you can see we're still in demo mode here, so we should be able to, this is Android stuff right here. Home. Like I said, we're going to learn this stuff together. So very first thing I'm going to do here is make sure our units of measure are on standard. I get messed up when it gets on metric on there, so that'll help. It's one of the first settings. So we're going to turn it off demo mode. At this point, look at that. We're ready to go. So let's go back to the home screen and see how different it looks. So everything's grayed out on here because we're not connected to a vehicle. Okay, at this point, I think we're going to stop the video. There's so much information. It's probably like information overload for you, and I don't want to push too much all in one video. But at this point, the scan tool is fully set up. We have the registration done, we fully charged it with the Wi-Fi set up, we checked for updates, and we took it out of demo mode so we can use it live on some vehicles. And that's what part 2 is going to be all about. We're going to try it on a few different vehicles and go through some of the basic functions on there to give you a better sense of what the scan tool can do and the menus and stuff like that. And then of course in the future there'll be in-depth tutorials on like special functions and functions specific to vehicle makes and models that are out there, like regen functions, battery resets, the Ford power balance. There's a lot of cool functions that this thing can do, and I want to show them all off in these videos to give you a better sense of the scan tool, because I know it's difficult to pick a scan tool. There's just so many of them out there. You're wondering, is this one going to do everything I need? Is this one going to do everything I need? And this is going to give you a good sense of what the OTC Encore can do, and you can compare from there. So stick around for that. I'll see you next time.